Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I've been in the States here now for about 2 months, and I've noticed, and I mentioned this, things are getting bad, and the stupidity is really running high. And when I talk about that, I mean there's so many things that are not only illogical, but they make no sense, they complicate things, and people just seem to kind of go along with it. Now when I say people, it's funny because, and I mentioned, I was down at the bank and they wanted this information, that information, and which they already had, and they knew that they were talking to me, and what it is, they keep adding a little more information, and they're not even honest about what's going on. I mean, what do they need all this much information and all this kind of stuff? How much of it is the policy of the bank and how much of it is the law? And it doesn't make any difference because they're both screwed up. They're both deceiving, and they're teaching you to do as you're told. Now, one of the things that I noticed when my kids went to college, they went to college to get a diploma. That was what they wanted. They wanted their diploma. Now, when they were taking the classes, they would say, Dad, they're teaching us inaccurate things, and to pass the class we have to learn this stuff. And I messed up. I was young. You got to remember, I didn't go to college. I didn't know what was going on. So I told him, well, you got to do what you got to do. That was probably one of the worst things that I ever said. And in other words, what I told them, to get your diploma, there's things that you're going to have to do. And I didn't say it all like that, but like I say, what it is, you're going to have to do things that are incorrect. You're going to have to do some stupid things. And you're just going to have to go along with them if you want to get your diploma. And see, that's what I kind of told them when I said you got to do what you got to do. And the thing is, they were right, because now they're in the world, and now they're grown, they got kids, and they're in the world, and what are they doing? The same thing that they were doing in college. They do stupid things because everybody else does stupid things. I mean, their peers, their friends, when they go get stuff, they have to do certain things, and they're kind of stupid, but they just go along with it, so they're used to doing that kind of stuff. Now, and I say, I've made videos talking about how the troubles I had in the States with all the regulations and all this stuff. I mean, it was really, really bad. And to me, doing what you got to do, the thing was, I don't do the stuff I do for money. So when the state tells me that I have to do this, then I just don't do it. And it got to the point where, like I say, they want everybody to have a license, and that's so then they can regulate you and all this kind of stuff. And to get your license so you can make money. You got to be regulated. You got to do the stupid things they tell you. So you're in a habit of doing illogical things. And then once you get in that habit of doing what you're told, then you end up not only doing stupid things and things that make no sense, but then you start doing unconstitutional things. Then you start doing immoral things. You get in a habit of doing what you're told instead of doing what you've learned. I know that makes sense to people that can think. I know that they can make sense. The people that are already brainwashed, they're already understand that they are the working class. They already understand that they are in tyranny. They already understand that the master controls them. They don't understand anything that I'm talking about. I understand that. But it's the people that can still think and determine what is right and wrong, immoral and unconstitutional. They see it, but they really don't know how to respond to it. And it's another thing. It takes planning. It takes preparedness to respond to this stuff. And the reason I say that is because, like I say, at the bank, whenever wanting all this information, I said it. I've been working on the plan now on how this is going to work. Because the poor young girl, I'm sure she's just out of college, and she's used to doing what she's told and all this kind of stuff. And so when every time she asked these questions, I would make her feel a little silly for asking these questions. And because I was confused, and I'm asking questions. Why do you need this? Don't you have that on file? It was confusing me, the questions she was asking. Now, so now I've been working on a plan, and so I'm going to kind of share this a little bit with you, but because that's what you need to be doing if you want your freedom. And the thing is, I'm thinking what I should do is I'm asking these questions, and then I will ask for their supervisor. And then we'll probably pretty much go by the same thing that the supervisor. I'll say the same things with the supervisor. And I say, I made the girl feel a little silly, close to stupid. And I want to do the same thing with her supervisor. And I'll just keep going till I get to the branch manager. And we'll do the same thing with the branch manager. And the reason is I'm making their job really difficult, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. They're making my life difficult. So why should I sit back and allow them to set me up to be a victim? They're setting me up to do what I need to do. I mean, they ask for my Social Security number. You don't have it? You know what I mean? How do you be in the banking business and you don't have my Social Security number? You know what I mean? These are just... We need to have a plan to live our life. We can't just be one of the cattle and just kind of go along with everybody else. We can't do that. That's where you got that same problem at the airport. You just go along, you do like everybody, stand in line, moo, moo, and you just do what you're told. And now you do the same thing in other aspects of your life. Now you can't avoid this stuff. I even have to go through this in Guatemala. And you don't think I bitch? You don't think I raise hell? I think that's why they call me a grumpy old man. But It's not the grumpiness. Is what it is. It's the stupidity that is overflowing. And in Guatemala, it's understandable. These people are socialists. They're not educated to think. They're not educated to be problem solvers. They're educated to be servants. Either servants of the state or servants of whatever company that they're working for. That's why I admire the ones that have their own business, because I know they've stepped out of their comfort zone to make these decisions. They've stepped out of their comfort zone to take a chance on improving their lives, not just going along. But I think that's the problem in the United States. We've got so accustomed to convenience that we are willing to pay anything for convenience. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about information. I'm talking about going along with stuff that we know is incorrect, improper, immoral, and unconstitutional. I mean, we're being hit by this at all directions. I mentioned this trip was the first time I was in more fear of the police or government than I was of being robbed, terrorism, any of this stuff. I am more fear of my country, the government, than I am of anything else. I just cannot believe how the government has got so much involved in everybody's lives. That's why I'm down here. I stay out here in the country where I've got control of my life. We create, we grow, we produce. Very seldom we go to town. Very seldom we need the conveniences that the city offers. It's just a thought. Maybe that's what you need to do. Think. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.